Your customer will forget your interest rate by next Tuesday. They will definitely forget the intricacies of the foursquare you presented to them so eloquently after a 4-hour buying process. But they will remember exactly how you made them feel, and that memory single-handedly decides whether they ever come back. Hello, my name is Frankie, and welcome to Wired to Win, the Auto Dojo Quick Hit series where we go under the hood of the one piece of equipment you use in every deal, every conversation, and every relationship you'll ever have, your brain. The hippocampus handles memory formation, and most importantly, it ties emotional context to whatever you store in that memory. It doesn't file memories neutrally, though. It files them with a feeling attached to it, which is why you can't remember what you had for lunch yesterday, but you can recall in painful detail a conversation that made you really angry 3 years ago. There's a direct chemical connection worth knowing here. Research shows that oxytocin, the hormone released during trusting social bonds, actually protects hippocampus-related memory and plasticity from the damaging effects of stress. How does this impact you and your job? Well, when a customer trusts you, their brain isn't just more relaxed, it's literally better equipped to form a clear, positive memory of the whole interaction. That has a direct and important impact on repeat and referral business. A customer's hippocampus is building the memory that decides how they describe their experience with you for years, and that memory is emotionally influenced, not factually neutral. They may not remember the exact trim level, explanation of a needed service, or specific interest rate, but they will remember whether they felt respected, rushed, or manipulated. Studies on brand trust found that when customers feel genuine trust, their brain's response to that company resembles their response toward people they're personally attached to. And that same research found that people were willing to pay more specifically because of that trust and competence. So the emotional tone of a deal isn't a nice to have, it's a must, because it influences what people are willing to pay and whether they ever walk back through your door. And we've all heard that famous Maya Angelou quote where she says, "I learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." In life and leadership, this explains why how you make people feel outlasts what you actually said. Teams remember the leader who made them feel valued during a rough month much more clearly than the specific instructions they were just given that day. And on the receiving end, because the hippocampus files memory with emotion attached, a memory recalled when you're in a bad mood tends to get recolored more negatively each time you revisit it in that same mental and emotional state. Which is why part of rehashing an old fight while you're already annoyed makes it feel even worse, not better. This also connects straight back to the amygdala from the last episode. The amygdala and hippocampus sit right next to each other and work as a pair. The amygdala tags an experience with emotional intensity, and the hippocampus uses that emotional tag to decide how vividly to file it away. A tense, stressful interaction and a warm, relaxed one are both likely to be remembered clearly. It's the flat, forgettable, unremarkable moments that disappear from memory completely. If you're going to be remembered either way, you definitely want to make sure it's for the right reason and in the right way. Your practical move? Well, in high-stakes moments, like a sale, a hard conversation, a first impression, manage the emotional tone on purpose because that's the part that actually sticks in the other person's head. So go do it now. At work, in your very next customer interaction, pay just as much attention to the feeling you're creating as you do to the facts that you're presenting. Watch your customer's body language and listen for verbal cues. At home, in your next important conversation, ask yourself what memory you want the other person to walk away with and make sure your words and actions support it. Why is this important? Well, because referrals, repeat business, and trust in both business and personal relationships all run on the same currency, emotionally weighted memory. You can nail every fact in a customer conversation and be right on all the facts in an argument with a friend or a spouse and still lose the relationship if the feeling attached to it was all wrong. So go take action, keep the customer first, and go dominate your floor and your life. To have these quick hits delivered to your email and text, scan the QR code you see here to subscribe or go to autodojotraining.com, and I look forward to serving you in the Auto Dojo soon.